All right, y'all, check it out, man. You got the Iceman himself, Jamie Dundee, and you are listening to What the Whole World Really Wants. Give me back my pro wrestling, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
For those who don't know, now you know, baby. This is Hot Rod Biggs, Jared, Jimmy Street. We're going to take them to the limit one more time, baby, right here on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast, and it is me, your host, Jimmy Street, as always, and I hope you guys are having an awesome day, and thank you all so much for dropping by to check out the show we've got today, and to be honest, it's a wild one, y'all. Of course, every time this guy comes on a show, it is an entertaining episode, and today, as you read on the welcome mat, the one and only Jamie Dundee is on the show for a part 2. Yes, exactly. Expect the unexpected. That's all I can say. Jamie's a buddy of the show. We've always enjoyed his time on the show with us. He's always entertaining, and we just can't wait to get to him. But of course, before we do, we have a few things we have to cover. So the first one is last episode, guys. If we have Jamie on this episode, you know we got to have some representation on the previous episode, and of that, of course, we had Wolfie D, the one and only other member of PG-13. That was a special one for me. That was a special one for the show. He came on. We talked about the end of Live and in Color. Really just, closed a chapter that needed a proper closure. And I hope you all enjoyed that. It was kind of our final tribute to the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast. So any of you listeners out there, I hope y'all check that out. Thank you all so much for the years of support and listening to that show. Thank you to those who came along with me after that. So thank you all I just appreciate anyone who's listened to any of my podcasts. So thank you for that. Of course, received some great reviews, and just again, thank all of you. Really appreciate all the ones who let me know what you thought of it. Really, really appreciate it. All right, guys, to continue on, the one and only Austin Idol Power Hour podcast. We just dropped episode 4 on Tuesday. It's Be an Edifier. I hope you guys are enjoying this show. I know we are enjoying making it. Idol seems to be having a lot of fun. I know I'm having a lot of fun doing it. We are looking for sponsors. So if you or your business would be interested, let us know. Contact Idol at info@universalwrestlingcollege.com. Get in touch with Idol and see what we can do for you as far as promoting your business. I mean, come on, how cool would that be for your business to run a commercial on Austin Idol's podcast? Anyway, y'all let us know what you think about that. But until then, all we've got is today, and today is the one and only JC Ice, a.k.a. Jamie Dundee. Sheik and Quinton are joining me on the other side. We'll be right back with more Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling after these messages.
This is the Universal Heartthrob coming at you just to let you know that every Tuesday, tune in to the Austin Idol Power Hour podcast, no matter where you get your podcast, baby. Anywhere you get your podcast, every Tuesday, tune in to the Austin Idol Power Hour podcast, the women's pet, the men's regret. Oh yeah, darling, and you ain't heard nothing yet. Bring your seatbelt.
Hey, my name is Tammy Reynolds. I am the wife of Forsaken. Rick Reynolds, that super cool guy that everybody knows and loves. And I represent West Side Sauces. I make sauces, I bottle them, I seal them, I sell them. I have a hot honey sauce, I have a sweet sauce, I have a hot sauce, I have a white sauce that's so yummy you can use it on everything. They are absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of them. We make them from scratch. So go on our website, westsidesauces.com, check out our products, read about our story, and go online and order you some of these yummy sauces. And Rick actually uses all of the sauces because he is a die-hard smoker and griller. And so he likes really good sauces and rubs, and I make them. So how convenient is that for him? Go on our website, westsidesauces.com, order you some samples, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy them. Thank you guys. Be blessed.
All right, we are back with a very special guest today. Welcome back, our all-time download champ. Matter of fact, this guy is the top downloaded guest for my entire family of podcasts. He is the 16-time USWA Tag Team Champion, the one and only JC Ice, Jamie Dundee. Welcome back for a part 2, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, thank you, man. Maybe part 2 will beat part 1. You never know. You never know what I'm going to say, so I don't even know what I'm going to say. So, I guess I'm going to tune in and see what I say on the next one.
Yeah. Well, let's start off with this. How's Bill doing? How's the superstar doing?
Bill's all right, I reckon. Yeah, he's good. He just don't know it. Like I say every time, dementia. But he's smiling. He's smiling every time I see him. He's just smiling. So I guess wherever he's at, he's happy.
Okay, well, that's very good. We're glad to hear that. And I kind of wanted to start off with a laugh because this next thing I know is very serious to you. Unfortunately, between the time of our last seeing each other and now, the one and only David Allen Coe has passed away. And I kind of thought, since you were, and I know we're not a Give Me Back My Country Music show, but maybe today, maybe you'd like to give a little eulogy to DAC.
But I mean, his name speaks for himself. It's somebody that, you say that name and everybody knows who it is, whether they listen to country music or outlaw music or whatever you want to call it. And half the world loved him and the other half hated him, and he didn't care either way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, he lived his life for him, and he lived a fun and exciting life. And like anything, people tend to get on your nerves. Sometimes people ain't what they pretend to be, and David sure was. He was everything he said he was and more. You know what I mean? I mean, half the world hated him, the other half loved him, but he was David Allen Coe, man. His name speaks for himself, bro.
Yeah. Have you been able to talk to your buddy, Easy Jesus?
Yeah. I talked to Easy Jesus yesterday, and he said he'd give me a call back today. I'm sure they're getting everything lined out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, one thing we all have in common, and we're all going to do, whether we want to or not, is death. Death is something you can't stop it. It's coming. It's coming for every single one of us. From the moment we're born, we live to die, I reckon. Because I mean, in life, you just choose your path, and some people like him and some people don't. He's the only person on this planet to ever have a patch for the Hells Angels and the Outlaws at the same time, and that's impossible to do almost, except David Allen Coe. I mean, that dude was definitely an icon of his time, and then he was real. He said it like he saw it.
Yeah, that reminds me of somebody I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I know a guy like that too sometimes. But sometimes, David included, we say things that weren't asked to be said. We just say them because we thought they should be said, and sometimes they're not the right things to say. but in general, every day of my life, I live my life for Jamie. I wake up every day, and I don't try to steal or connive or scam or con or bullshit or lie. I just tell it like it is. If I call your phone at 2:00 in the morning when I used to smoke crack, I wanted $10 for crack. I wasn't calling to check on you. So if you answered the telephone at 2:00 in the morning to my number, you knew exactly why I was calling.
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. There's no sugarcoating the bullshit. And that's what's wrong with our world today. Your feelings, as they say. Your feelings.
Yeah.
Every day.
And there was always those buddies that called with a specific dollar amount. You know what I mean?
Always. I say, I know I can call Whoopi and get 20, but no, I can't. He ain't got 20 because he's with me last night. So it was, but always, Tracy's mothers would say, Dundee, you get in more different scenarios in a week than most people get in a year. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't try to do it, Tracy.
It just happens. It just comes to you, right?
That's right. I just go with the flow, man. I just roll. I'm about it. Listen, I tell my wife, I tell everybody, if a Swedish volleyball team of all girls pulls up in front of my house and tells me to get on the bus, I'm probably going to get on the bus. I don't know what's going to happen after that, but when I get on that bus, I'll have a hell of a story to tell when I return. So, I mean, it's not my fault, If they're lost and they need me to guide them the way, I will have to get on that bus. I'm sorry.
It's kind of like the bus full of the Hawaiian Tropic girls at the end of Dumb and Dumber when they're like, "Come on."
That's exactly right. Exactly the same thing I said. If it's a Swedish, if it's them girls, hell, if it's a busload of strippers, hell, I don't care. If a busload of chicks pull up in bikinis and tell me to get on, well, I'm going to have to get on, not on purpose, I wasn't planning it, but if it comes about, it's just something I'd have to put on my bucket list.
You roll the dice, right? You got to roll.
That's right. Yeah, I live for today, bro. Tomorrow ain't promised for nobody. So I need to, my wife will say the light bill's due in 10 days. I say, well, that means we got 9.5 to not worry about it. Yeah, at the end of that 9.5, we'll try to get that shit together. You know what I mean? That's just every day of my life. Me and my wife argue with that. I'll say, give me some money. She said, we ain't got no money. I say, I know you got $240 put up a light bill. Give me $50. That's the light bill. I said, the light bill is due in 10 days. We may not be alive in 10. Give me some damn money. I'm living for today. My God. I mean, for real. You know what I mean? I'm not going to suffer today for something in 10 days that I may not even be here to take care of. I ain't worried about it. I worry about right now. I knew at 1 o'clock I had to be on this show. That was all I was worried about. At 1 o'clock, I'm on the show. At 2 o'clock, I don't know where I'll be.
Thank you. Well, let's go ahead and get her started here. Sheik, go ahead and take your first question. That's perfect.
So we had one of our recent guests talk about some of this time, but tell us about working Ron Fuller's USA in Knoxville, specifically being Gumby with the RPMs.
Yeah, that was my first time. You know what I mean? And it's funny as hell. I was cutting the grass. I was about 16. Yeah, I was about 16 then. It's almost 17, I think. And I was cutting the yard, and my daddy was already Ron Fuller's booker, but he was a baby face. And he's like, Ron wants to switch me heel. And, he's like, and I would ride with him every day and sell the pictures and shit. So he would give me a percentage of the gimmick sales, right? Yeah. And so he goes, well, Ron Fuller has come to me and wants me to switch heel. He said, I told him the only way I switch heels if you let Jamie be my manager. And he said, do you want to be my manager? And I go, well, I mean, I don't know. And he goes, listen, boy, there's more money, more fame, and more you poke a stick at. I said, well, then I'm in, bro. I'm there, man. Yeah, it sounds like fun. And so we started, and listen, I made $15 a day. And I said, how come I make $15? He said, well, I don't know. He said, I wasn't really paying attention. He said, Ron said, well, how much do you pay in percentage? He said, I don't know, $15-20 a day. And Ron said, well, then that's what I'll pay. So I made $15 a day, and in 7 days I made $90. And I'm like, no, wait a minute, man, it sucks. But I mean, my dad paid for everything. He paid for the gas, and he drove. It was me and the RPMs and my dad driving everything, bro. And then you were supposed to live in Knoxville to start that, to work for that company. Same as if you work for Memphis company, you lived in Nashville, right? Because that way you're in the middle. You can go to Louisville home, Evansville home, Memphis home, and then you're supposed to live in that Knoxville territory. Well, we lived in Nashville. So our drives were 4 hours longer than anybody else's. So, man, we would drive home every night, too. We get home sometimes 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We have to leave again at 11 or 12, man. It was brutal miles, man.
Yeah, man.
But I loved it. It was my first time ever managing and shit, and I just loved it. We were working with Tommy Rich and the bastard Riches, David Haskins, and then Johnny Rich and the Party Boys, Yeah. But listen, bro, they had that place rocking. My dad was booking that. That place was, it was drawing. And then all of a sudden that dude just came in, Ron Fuller did, which I don't guess I could be mad at him, but he said, well, if I sold the company, he said, I'm done, boys. Y'all take care. He left the company and he sold it. And my dad stayed in the Booker about, I don't know, maybe 4 more weeks or something. He said, this dude, man, this dude ain't got a clue what he's doing in this wrestling world. So Bill said, I don't want to be here no more. So we all quit and went on back home, and that's when he got everybody a job in Memphis. And, you know, I started my first managing career in Memphis, but as a babyface manager, you know, got my neck broken, all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it looks like our co-host with the Mo host, I ain't used that in a minute, Quinton Quarisma is here. Quinton, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, he's been struggling.
Good morning, sunshine. Was you up partying all night, or what the hell you been? I mean, you big star or what? You just roll in here when you feel like it, I guess.
Yeah,
It must be nice to be Quinton Quarisma.
roll in when I want to, brother.
Yeah, it must be nice, baby. That's why we pay you the big bucks, kid. That's why we give you the big bucks.
Well, anyway, welcome to the show, Quinton. Go ahead and take that next question there.
All right, where y'all at? I have no idea.
He just brought up the RPMs.
Hey, is that one of them questions? Where y'all at? Well, I'm in Kentucky. Where y'all at, boy?
I'm in Virginia, brother.
Yeah, you're in Kentucky too. Well, we need to get together and you buy lunch.
Yeah.
That's a deal I can't turn down, right?
Hell no. Now listen, if I'm naked in the Denny's, I'm sorry, but I mean, you just pay for lunch. The rest I got covered.
I got a question real fast before we leave Knoxville.
Okay.
Whose idea was it for you to put on Bullet's mask? Because that was awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it was. You know, we get hit him with the nickels because you know there was the nickels in the bag deal or whatever, and then we take the mask off. And when we're standing there, I was holding it up, and Bill just says, "Put it on, boy." And so I put it on, and then I made sure that I kept it on every time we wrestled the Bullet, you know, just to rub it in.
Yeah, that was good.
You learned a lot from Big Bob. I'm going to tell you something, man. I learned a lot right there. That was my first managing gig, as we was discussing before. You rolled in here like you own the company. You rolled up in here about 40 minutes late, but it's okay. We were discussing that my first wrestling career, and that's what we were discussing, the Bullet Bob Armstrong angle.
All right.
Learned so much.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So I'm going to
And you don't call me Gumby, damn it. You don't call me Gumby, damn it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. All that stuff up there was good. Because I back when I was doing tape trade, I got the whole run of that, man, and it was good stuff, man. Really good stuff.
You could tell where my dad left, though. You know what I mean? All that about, you know, it's what my dad did everywhere. Take that Memphis comedy, heat on your heels, badass heels, you know, selling baby faces, and every time he went to a company like Bill Watts' Mid-South, man. You know, they were all monsters. And, you know, he brought in Ricky and Robert and Bubby and Dennis and all them. And, man, you know, Ricky selling, bro, is the greatest shit. Get sympathy on them baby faces. But that's what the wrestling world, everybody wants to be tough now, you know. Yeah. Everybody ain't no chicken shit heels. Ain't nobody run away no more like you should.
Right.
Yep. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So I heard about this years ago. And what was what was the mask gimmick you did down in Texas?
I never did a mask gimmick in Texas, though. For real, a lot of people think I was the was he called the
Boogeyman or something?
The Boogeyman. I think, is that what he was called?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the Boogeyman. So
that was not me, and the whole world says that me. I've been asked that a bunch of times. Like, listen, bro, that wasn't me. I don't know who that was, but it wasn't me. It might have been Jason Jarrett or something. Maybe, I don't know. You know, little fella. Maybe Tony Williams.
Hey, you need to send them a bill for using your name, man.
Well, yeah, but it even says on that Wikipedia, you know, that everybody thinks because the internet says it's true, but the internet says I got $10 million. So I emailed that page and I said, listen, I'm not a greedy dude. You just tell me where to pick up 5 of that. You can keep the other 5. And they never answered me, but I emailed the shit out of Wikipedia. I said, listen, bro, hey, well, for $10 million, you got me where it's at, bro. You can get you some too. I'm a good dude.
Wikipedia.
Yeah. I called him out. I said my birthday is June 17th, not July 7th, and you cannot be an American Australian. You're either one or the other. You can't be both. I'm an Australian that lives in America. There, people, get your facts right.
Oh man, yeah.
But I mean, for real, that's what I mean. Like But I do tell you one thing, I have been voted the world's worst guest on Jerry Springer, which is huge also. But
yeah, we're going to get to that. I promise.
Yeah. But I mean, we got to get to me getting paid for that. Somebody get me paid for that.
Seriously. Yeah.
I mean, for real, man, it's got like 7 million views or some shit. My kid come running in the bedroom. She said, Daddy, you're blowing up on, she said, you're on CelebrityMugShots.com. I said, Celebrity Mugshots. She said 16 times. I said, that makes me 16 times better than the rest of the celebrities on there. I don't know.
16-time USWA tag champion and 16-time celebrity mugshot.
CelebrityMugshots.com, baby. And you can tell which pictures in there that I got bond money and which ones I don't. When I got bond money, I'm smiling and laughing. When I don't, it's nothing but seriousness right there, baby.
Oh, man.
So I'm sure you got plenty of stories about this guy. You got a couple good ones that you can tell about old Dale, man.
What a dick he had on him, bro. And he stuck it everywhere.
That's what I've heard.
I bet I spent 4 years of my life driving a van that rocked back and forward everywhere we went, because Dale was in the back everywhere we went. He had a bed in the back, and it'd be 14 of us on the bus. It was like a big, long stretch van, and I'd drive, the midget sit in the middle. Ronnie Travis, my partner, would sit on the passenger seat. Then in the back would be all the baby faces who were working for them. And then in the back of the bed be Dale and whoever he was banging that week or month or year. Because, when he died, he had like 38 grandchildren, 12 children. He was on like his 9th wife. His thing said, here lies Dale Man, 78 or 87 or whatever, on his 9th wife, age 31. Dale was a pimp, bro. Dale up there in them hollers, they make their own rules, man. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So, did you ever live at the compound in Jamestown?
First place I ever lived when I was going off on my wrestling world. My partner, Ronnie Travis, he's the only one of my school buddies. Growing up, all my buddies would say, man, I'm going to be a wrestler. We're going to be partners. Yeah, okay. Well, Ronnie went off and got trained and shit. And he called me one time and said, I got his book, man. And I said, what are you talking about? He's like, I got his book to wrestle. We're going to go to Athens, Alabama for this guy named Alvin Wallace. He's going to give us $100 a piece. I said, shit, let's get that in. Because, I was just making $15 a day. So that's a big upgrade.
Right.
And so I was like, hell yeah. And so we did. And then he said, well, I'm going to this guy, Dale Man. I'm going to go work for him. So then the Rock and Roll Dream Team went to Dale Man's, and Dale owned a building downtown. It was like 9 stories tall, and it had a bunch of little rooms in it. And I'm not talking real nice rooms. I'm talking just some rooms. You know what I mean? And it was cold in the summer. It was hot. But at the bottom of it was a wrestling ring. So we could live in there and we could work out and we could train in the ring and shit. And yeah, I lived there for about 1.5 years of my wrestling career. But Dale, man, he was a great dude, bro. For real. He took all those young guys around the world, man. He took us to Africa. He took us to all the Indian reservations. I mean, that dude took us everywhere, man. And if Dale Man drew, he'd give you money. If he didn't, he'd make sure you got to eat. I mean, hell, that's all it was about back then. That we didn't care,
Yeah. Dale is pretty legendary on this podcast. When we had you and Ronnie on, we heard some crazy stories. So, exactly. That's just perfect for wrestling. Dale Man was pretty much perfect.
It was yes. And it was, and let me tell you something, Dale Man would be driving down the road and there would be a hitchhiker. So we picked this 400-pound black dude up, and by God, Dale put him in the next town in the main event against himself and just said, just rock. Don't fall down till I tell you. And then when the guy fell down, Dale goes, and he would keep them for weeks. I mean, they're just hitchhiking drifters anyway. And they was like, I guarantee you, they tell people I was hitchhiking from Oklahoma to Florida. And then somebody picked me up, made me a wrestler for 3 weeks, and then left me at the gas station. But that's what he would do. He would just like at a gas station or something. When he was done with them, he'd send to give him $10 to come go in and get a Coke or something. And when they got out of the van, he'd just drive off. And the people they'd just be wherever the hell he was at. They'd just be sitting there. But I guess, he would say the best women to bang are homeless girls because you can drop them off anywhere.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, Dale was the greatest, bro, for real. But I mean, he would pick them hitchhikers up. I don't care. Every time we see a hitchhiker up in the distance, me and Ronnie be like, he thinks to say stop. We pass him and Dale look out that back window and size him up. He'd say, yeah, stop, pick him up. Smart. One time Jerry Lawler said, listen, Jerry Lawler said, Dale, we need 15 girls to be in a rip your clothes off battle royal in Mid-South Coliseum. Dale said, I got him, bro. I got you. He showed up with 10 girls, and not one of them was over 16 years old.
Oh, my
Some
God.
of them were 13. And listen, it was a negligee battle royal. And Jerry Jarrett and Lawler said, man, we cannot send these girls to the ring. Dale, he said, it's okay. I talked to their parents.
Oh, my God.
They said, no, Dale, we can't send these girls. Because Jerry Lawler said to that one girl, how old are you? Over smoking cigarettes. She said, I'm 14 and a half. She said, I got a baby.
Oh, my God.
And Dale's like, oh, okay. There's old holler-phobe. He stopped at the mall in Jamestown or some shit and picked up 10 girls. Drove them to the Mid-South Coliseum, gonna make them stars. Had them in negligees.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah, he didn't give a bro. He really didn't give a fuck. He was hilarious, though, man. But he was a kind-hearted guy, and he could wrestle his head. He was a big dude, big old tough dude, man.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Oh, go ahead, Sheik.
All right, Jamie. Tell us about Shelby Adcock and his boys.
Man, I love Shelby Adcock. The whole time I was locked up in jail, man, that would come and see me every Sunday, or at least every other Sunday. He'd come up and sit and talk to me and stuff. You know, he lost his legs in the end there. He had diabetes and all that. But listen, that was that was what I considered my hometown. You know, I got married and I lived in that town. And then, so, you know, Shelby, man, he really had it going on, man. You know, he knew the rest of it. I don't know where he came from or what, because by the time I got there, he was an old veteran. You know what I mean? Anyway, he had already been running his shows, but he drew, man. He drew like hell. And I remember we did an angle one time where I got a little juice, and he said, come on, we're going right in the middle of the town, in the middle of the restaurant. He said, it's 9 o'clock and the restaurant's packed. So we went in the restaurant, and I pick up the phone like I'm calling my dad. I put the quarter in, and I start ranting and raving, and I hang the phone up. I'm telling you, it drew like a son of a bitch, man. I brought Bill in to clean house, and then people believe, bro. Because, I mean, that's what happened to wrestling. The believability left, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
But old Joe Shelby Adcock, that dude was a great guy, man. I mean, just a hell of a dude, man. Just, I don't know. He had wrestling knowledge. I don't know where he came from or if he ever even wrestled, you know. And his boys, all them, they were good wrestlers. But, I mean, they're all from another one of them little small Kentucky towns where, you know, they work in the mines or they work in the sawmills, and that's what they do. Even if, you know, but they wrestled on the weekends, by God.
Yeah. Appalachia boys. That's right.
Yeah, the friggin' the ambulance driver, Johnny Hawker, he was one of the top baby faces. The utility man, old Kentucky Trapper, he was one of the best heels in the town. And it was great, man. It was really one of those believability kind of place, man, for real.
Were you there the night Kentucky Trapper almost killed Wolfie D?
Maybe, but I wouldn't have been around. You know, like Wolfie would have been Airwolf then, and I would have been Jamie Dundee. So I don't remember it. No, but I mean, the Kentucky Trapper. I seen him do a reverse neck breaker one time and knock himself out. I mean, knock himself out cold, bro. They can't do his feet, snot coming out his face. And I got it on video, man. It's hilarious. I mean, when he goes to do it, I don't know what he does, but he knocks himself completely out, man. And he's trying to step through them ropes. It's some funny ass shit, bro. I got it on video.
Golly.
He was a strong ass little bitty dude, man. He was a little dude, but that fucker was like hold a transmission kind of strong. You know what I mean?
My God.
Where you want this transmission at, Paul? One of them guys. I'm like, this little dude is strong, man.
Yeah, man. Wow. Yeah.
Jamie, tell us about the making of the video of Bruno working at your dad's house and the dog biting him.
Oh, yeah. The Bruno smelled. I'm just going to, I mean, he did. He smelled like, I don't know what he smelled like. He smelled like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I guess. This is 14 Duquesne Boulevard, wherever the hell he's from. Mama said it bees that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Bruno was a dirty little guy, man. He was a bad alcoholic and a dirty little man. And my dog, I don't know, he smelled. So my dog jumped on him. And because we never turned the lawnmower on because Bill's like, he probably don't know how to cut grass. He's from Pittsburgh. They got number concrete. So he's a moron. So, but I mean, he came to our house and did 2 or 3 of them videos. And I remember when I was going to have my very first match ever was with a midget in Knoxville, but the first match they consider I had was against downtown Bruno in Memphis, with Lance Russell and that. But you watch that match, it was great. The people, they announced me, and then people cheer like hell. They announced Bill Dundee, they booed like a mother. I guess that's Lawler country, but they give me my respect. My first match that Lance is announcing, he built it up great, and but I remember me and Bruno had to go down to Jerry Jarrett's farm and go over this match, man, for like 4 or 5 days to make sure we could do it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And about Byrd, man, bless it. He only had one move. His selling, his attack, his selling, everything, all of it was the exact same. He never had no other gestures, just one little sneaking up on you looking gesture. But the match got over like hell for real. It really did, man. And people popped like a sumbitch when I beat Bruno. But in his book, he don't like that. He talks about that in his book about working for. He called my dad Hitler. He said, like working for Bill, like working for Hitler is what he said.
Jeez.
Okay. So obviously PG-13 in my opinion, one of the most underrated great tag teams. You know, did a whole podcast with Wolfie. Been friends with you for years now. Love PG-13. One of the questions I don't think I've ever, and I've asked you a million questions about PG-13 right. At least. The one I've never asked you, and I can't believe it, is where did you come up with that karate spot?
I stole it from Hollywood John Tatum. Okay. When we were in 1988, 9, 90, and 91 or whatever it was, when we were running, like when they just bought WCCW from the Von Erichs, you know, and we were going to Dallas we were getting what we do is we'd wrestle our regular schedule week, you know, and then on Friday night we would all meet in Memphis. We'd get on Waylon Jennings' bus at midnight and we would haul ass into that would be Thursday night. I mean, we'd haul ass into Dallas, Texas. We would do the Sportatorium and then we'd be back in time to do Memphis TV Saturday morning at 9:00, you see?
Yeah.
And so that's why everybody had to meet in Memphis, leave their cars there and shit, and we'd take that tour bus down. And then Hollywood John Tatum used to do, like, he would just stand still and just throw his arms and, you know, do like a karate thing, which was funny as hell. And I just added on to it and because I figure, you know, I'm a little bitty guy and everybody's bigger than me. So what better way than to look crazy, you know?
Yeah, it looks awesome.
And so when I started doing it, you know, and even like on the WWF where they're smoking guns, it's big dudes, man. I mean, you know, we'll be 6'1", 220, and he looked like a little kid right next to them.
Right.
So I really look like a little kid. So I'm like, what am I going to do with these big giant oopuses, man? You know what I mean? But that is believable, but it's entertaining value also. Yeah. And so that's when I come by, and if you watch that match with the Road Warriors, I tell Hawk, you know, hey man, I'm gonna do this little karate spot, yada yada. I do the cartwheel, you clothesline me. Okay,
it was so good.
So if you watch when they shoot Wolfie over to me, and I won't tag, right? Because I mean, what moron would tag and get in there against the Road Warriors? You'd be an idiot. And so then Hawk snapmares me in the ring, bam. And if you watch, I get away from Hawk. He's trying to go ahead and take me and set me up for the finish. And I'm like, no, you ain't. And I start doing cartwheels and get away from him and start jumping and hopping. And then, he stands still and clothesline. But and Tracy Smothers, Tracy called it breaking bad. He said, Dundee, you got to break bad. You got to break bad, man. And I say, damn it, Smothers, it blows me up so bad, man. I mean, I'm so blowed up at the end of that spot that I can't really go no more. But he said, you got to break bad. And so it kind of became, and being a baby face, it got over like hell. Even the referee would powder and everything, man. And I'd have the whole ring emptied, and then I would just Japanese bow, and the people pop, and we go on back to work.
Yeah, yeah. Such a great spot. And then the cartwheel and everything is so good.
Yeah, the cartwheel goes into I really think I know karate. There's no cartwheels in karate for real. and you know, that was always gives them the cue. Let me just do my seizure fit. Like Lawler said, look at this. He said, Vince, if this lands, this match is over. They are the champs. And it didn't land. But if I would have landed some of that karate, we'd have been them new WWF champs, because that's lethal. Them lethal hands and feet there, bro.
Yeah, you put your hands in your pocket, you're hiding lethal weapons. So
that's right. Yeah. When the cops pull me over, if you got any weapons on you, I say, just these 2 guns right here, baby. That's all I got on me.
All right, JB. So when you all worked at ECW, did you all reach out to Paulie, or did he reach out to you all?
Well, they reached out to us first before they ever made Public Enemy. So I've always said, and I believe they made Public Enemy because you know, if they ain't gonna come, we'll make our own.
Yeah.
But they had reached out, and that is the time when when Randy Hales comes and then they start preaching the loyalty shit. Now, you know, you boys are getting over. You're gonna start getting calls from other companies and yada yada yada. And you know, and so I'm like, listen, I'm fine right here, bro. I'm good right here. Whatever, I don't care. I'm good. Memphis Monday, Louisville Tuesday, Evansville Wednesday, spot show Thursday, spot show Friday, TV in Nashville Saturday, and off Sunday, and I'm good. All my dealers were in the same towns, so I knew where they were, so I was good. I didn't need nothing. And so then they made Public Enemy, and then Public Enemy went to WCW. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Lawler went there and did something with Dreamer, and then Dreamer and them came to Memphis. And that's when I said, Tommy, man, take us up there. We need to work some. So they brought us in there. And the angle we were going to do, which it all goes hand in hand now, which, of course, at that time you don't realize it because you don't know, but life lesson learned. Paulie's rather working for WWF, we're working for the Nation of Domination, and they fire us. And when they were building us on the ECW TV because we're the only team the Eliminators hadn't beat. We were showing the footage where we beat them out of Memphis, right? We beat the Eliminators. We beat them out of Memphis. They never beat us. We beat them 3 times and they left.
Yeah.
And we were going to show that footage and build it up that we're the only team they ain't beat, And so and then when we got fired from the WWF or let go or whatever you want to call it, and we went to the ring with the Road Warriors, before that match, I said to Paulie, but I said it in front of everybody, and it's the wrong way to handle it because he can't very well say no. But I said, Paulie, if I go to this ring and do this job for these Road Warriors, do I still have a job in your company? Meaning, am I still going to work for your Eliminators? Well, of course, he can't say, no, you can't work my Eliminators if you get beaten a minute and a half by the Road Warriors because it beats your credibility.
Right.
So he can't say that because then the heat's on him. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he said, no, you still have a job in my company. I said, okay, then we'll do this job. Come on. And we did the job with the Road Warriors. And, of course, before that, we told them, listen, man, these motherfuckers just took our plane tickets back and tried to make it like they were going to upgrade them. And these motherfuckers are really firing us. They ain't even got the balls to fire us like me. And we're not going to do this job for y'all. It ain't because we don't want to do the job. You're the Road Warriors. You can beat Moses and God. We just want to come to you guys and tell you this ain't about the wrestling business. This is about them. They just took my money back. Yeah. And then Hawk's like, I don't blame you, Dundee. I'd leave too good. And I'm like, all right. And so then when we leave, then, But, Paulie said, no, you still have a job. And so when we went back to ECW, we were on first match, the second match against Spike Dudley and Mikey Whipwreck. And that's when I said, oh, it makes sense now. He can't say no to me, but he damn sure can't say go do the job. Don't do the job,
Right.
Because then the heat's on him. So it's life lesson learned. I was like, and he kept his word. He gave us a job, but we just weren't working with the Eliminators. We were working first and second match. But so be it, whatever. Wasn't meant to be, I guess.
Yeah. It seemed like such a perfect fit, you guys in ECW. It really could have been something that flourished there. I mean,
well, they were even going to go as far as we were going to talking about bringing Public Enemy back in there. You know what I'm saying? Because they were eventually going to leave WCW. Because how many times in years can you jump through a table in the same building?
Yeah.
And so,
exactly.
But really, so and so. I got a picture of me and Johnny Grunge and Rocco Rock and Tatanka that I got taken in 2001. And Paulie dangerously even stated, what lunatic idiot would book Johnny Grunge and Jamie Dundee on the same town? He said, if y'all lost your mind. He said, those two motherfuckers together will be a wrecking ball. So we were only together for one little run out in the area. I don't forget where we was, out in Arizona or some shit. Me and Wolfie and them out there somewhere. But anyway, it was it never meant to be. But ECW was great, and especially when they said, Dundee, get the microphone and just knock the people and tell your jokes and shit. Well, that was great. I got paid to go do nothing for real. I got paid to go talk. I'd take a few bumps and go to the house.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
Right up my alley, man. I can do that till I'm 70.
Yeah, yeah.
Another question here. What did you think when your mom came home with a shaved head?
I thought, what the my dad was already had a head shaved head because he lost it the week before, right?
Yeah.
And then my mama, I just remember my mama crying because I was only 7 years old then, but I remember my mama crying a lot throughout the next few months, just out of nowhere, just start crying, I guess, because her head's bald, and that is kind of hard to get a woman to shave her head in 1979. Jerry Jarrett said to me when he came to my house, he was filming this. I was running shows then, and he was filming it. But anyway, that's another story. But anyway, Jerry Jarrett came to my house, and he said, Jamie, he said, do you know how hard it was to convince your mother to shave her head? And I said, well, I can imagine, Jerry. I said, it was almost impossible. He said, no, you're exactly right. He said, it took us about 90 to 100 days. But during that, you got to remember, during that time, they're still carrying on with the angle to build it up to Dundee's hair. And hopefully they got her convinced by Dundee's hair week, they got her convinced to shave her head the next week, And he said, she kept saying, no, I will not do it, Jerry. I'm not doing that. No, I'm not shaving my head. You lost your mind. My mom was a little Australian woman. She said, you lost your bloody mind. I'm not shaving my head for no reason. And he told me, he said, this is how we convinced her. We said, Beverly, The great American dream is to live in America and own your home outright, your home paid for, and therefore all you got to worry about is a light bill. You know what I mean? And you can live the rest of your life. And he said, Jerry said, I told her, you can buy a house right now for about $8,000, a nice house, and we're going to pay you 10. That's enough to pay for your house and to put 2 in the bank. And you'll be set for the rest of your life. Your home will be paid for. And my mom was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so they shaved her head. You know, they shaved it like they do in the rings. And then when she got in the back, they just shaved it, peeled the rest of it off, made a little onion head. And I remember that next morning at breakfast, my mom and dad looked like a set of tits. They were sitting there both bald-headed like the phone heads right there. And I was thinking, I remember my sister Donna was 12, and she said, are we next? She looked at me. She looked at my parents. She said, are we next? And they said, no, you're not next. I said, okay. So, it was definitely, when I tell stories in my life, my wife will say, Jamie, those things are not normal. And I'll say, well, they were normal in my world. Everybody else was doing it. So why the was it not normal? If everybody's doing it, it can't be wrong.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're shaving your head in the middle of the ring in front of 11,000 people for $10,000. That is normal. Where I come from, that's life. But that's what you're supposed to do that.
Yeah. I mean, and let me just add this in here. So when your mom and dad eventually did split up, there was
when my mama came to her senses. Yeah, when my mama finally came to her senses and bailed out on that fucking madhouse she lived in. Yeah, I remember.
But I'm just saying, there is no chance Bill got the house.
No, Bill. Well, let me tell you this. That goes back to not what you know, it's who you know. When my mom and dad went to court, the prosecutor attorney was picking lint off my dad's sweater.
Oh, my
yeah,
Lord.
She said, oh, my God, Mr. Dundee, you have lint on your sweater. My mama said, well, I've lost this case.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And so, I mean, Bill Dundee, he paid my mama's house off in the end and all that. It all worked out right. But I mean, at that time, he was mad, and he won, though. He won that. My mama got $100. But I mean, it is what it is. They had to sell the house and split it, and my mom got $100 over the closing costs. So it's one of them deals. It ain't what you know, it's who you know in this world. And my mama divorced my daddy in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and he knew everybody. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
This question just popped in my head. Do you remember the 2 vans that your dad and Tommy Rich bought, the identical vans? Do you remember those?
I do. They were Dodge vans, and they were tan and brown. And my dad's had a love heart window in the back, and Tommy Rich's had a diamond-shaped window in the back. They bought. My mama called them the rolling whorehouses. In my dad's book, as she opens up with the Ford, she talks about the rolling whorehouses that Tommy and Bill bought.
Oh,
they said they needed them. You know, they were going to sleep in them and not sleep at the hotels. You know, they were going to save money and sleep in them. No, they were so they could get laid all the way back home from the town. You know, they had refrigerators in them and swivel seats. They were bad. They had shag fur. You know, in the bed. They were bad. They were definitely 1970s mobiles.
Oh man!
Oh my God!
Yeah, my dad didn't get to keep his long at all. Maybe 6 months. And Tommy kept his for years, but my daddy, he didn't keep his long at all. Beverly's like, you getting rid of that motherfucker right now.
You're not Dale Manning in that van anymore.
Hell no. And Dale Man would do it with 15 people in the van. It's damn hilarious. You just drive down the road with 15 people listening to music and just talking, and damn, the van is rocking left and right. The whole trip, bro. Brother was a beast. Brother should have been John Holmes' stand-in or something. Hey, shit, brother was a beast. Hung like a donkey, and that girl get to squalling. Like going down the road sideways, some chick screaming, and that was our life. That was normal life. We'd say, Dale, we got to get gas. He'd have to slow down. He wouldn't stop. The van wouldn't rock as heavy when we got gas.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he was, I'm telling you, man, for 4 years of my life, I just rocked left and right, driving the fucking van. I swear to God. And nobody ever said nothing. We just carried on like a normal day, bro. And the chick be squalling. It was a lot of fun.
You were seasick getting out of the van. Oh, man.
Lifeless, bro. You can't make this shit up, man. The name of my book is going to be You Can't Make This Shit Up, the Jamie Dundee story. Because there's no way possible you could make up 15 people, 2 midgets, a bearded lady, and a one-legged frog all going down the road while Dale's You just can't make that up, man.
No, you can't.
And there's 15 witnesses. 15 witnesses. So, I mean, if there's 14 more that can back my story if I died today.
Yeah. That's
Chris Michaels, Ronnie Travis, the midget Farmer John. There's a Harrison Mount. There's a bunch of them that can damn sure back my story.
Yeah, I believe it.
You're listening to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Are you a pro wrestling fan? Well, stop by Captain's Corner, where you can get autographed photos, cards, magazines, and figures from all of your favorite wrestling superstars of the past, present, and future. You'll also be able to participate in live signings in the weeks and months to come. Make sure to stop by Captain's Corner on Facebook and give us a holler. Remember, cheers to the working man.
Everything is slashed, up to 50% off. So hurry while the selection is still big.
And I want you to get a free autographed picture of me, Bill Dundee, in person at Winter Furniture, Sunday, February the 24th at 1 to 4 p.m. Register to win a free living room suite. I want you to be at Winter Furniture, Sunday, February the 24th, 1 to 4 p.m., because I'll be there to shake your hand. Winter Furniture, 2530 Dixie Highway.
So, you got any stories about the ECW arena? Because you hear stories about it. People loved it. People hated it. What did you think about it?
I liked it. I loved it. But, I mean, you know me a long time, Quinton. But I am me all the time, no matter where you put me. You drop me off in the middle of the desert, I'm still me. In the middle of the ocean, I'm still me. You know, I'm always me. So the ECW arena was just right up my league, man. I was at home there, man. But, you know, they get offended. You know, ECW was supposed to be the outlaw of the outlaws, but I mean, they said even Dundee went a little too far away. I told the guy in the wheelchair, man, what are you doing, Superman? Get up, I'll whip your ass. They went, oh, God, Dundee, that's a little too much. I'm like, this is ECW, ain't it? Him. And then the black guy was with the white girl, and I said, hey, girl, didn't you see that OJ trial? What's wrong with you? And then people said, oh, God, that's too much, Dundee. I said, no, it ain't. I'm just talking what truths I know, you know?
Yeah.
But I love the ECW arena. The people, but here's the thing, there was no chicks, bro. No chicks. ECW drew nothing but 20-year-old to 35-year-old males, man. That was it.
Oh,
you could get all the pot you wanted, all the drugs you wanted, but you wasn't getting laid, not at ECW arenas. But I said, God, this sucks. Y'all don't have no chicks, man.
Yeah. That must be why they had all them valets there, because it was like, man, we gotta see one girl here.
Yeah. That's right, because there's no chicks in the crowd. For me to do that kitty joke, man, it took me forever to find somebody in the crowd because, I mean, there's no girls. I'd have to say, okay, where's that chick? There's a girl right there. Stand up, girl. Let me tell you a story. Knock your titties off, but I see you already heard it. Oh, yeah, but it was hard as shit because when I first was going to do that, I said, Wolfie, there ain't no chicks out here. What am I going to do about dude's dick or something? I mean, what? I mean, I don't know what to do with this joke. Yeah, but I mean, I was for real. I'm like, what the But every show there'd be one girl that was a gothic chick or some shit, but definitely wasn't getting laid in ECW arenas.
Yeah.
Hey, tell us about the world famous Philadelphia Travel Lodge.
Well, that is one of those. It's kind of like saying the Admiral Bimbo in Memphis. Every company had the place. In Florida, I'm sure they had one. Every territory had the place where everybody knew that that's where the guys stayed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so if you stayed there, the fans get to know that, man. They're waiting in the lobby for you. But the good thing, like even ECW, they run it. They run the same towns all the time. You see what I'm saying? So you get to know the people, man. I still talk to people today in my life that I met in 1988 in Memphis, Louisville, Evansville, and Nashville. You see what I'm saying? Because they are there every week, your whole entire life. You become part of their family in a sense. They fed me, they clothed me, they drove me around, they picked me up when I've been up or bailed out of jail or whatever, man. They become part of your family in a sense. You expect them to be there as much as they expect you to be there to perform.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And so the Travel Lodge in Philly was the same as the Admiral Bimbo in Memphis or the Econo Lodge in Evansville or whatever. Every territory had the place where you stayed. That's where the people, I don't know if you call them people. I guess they're people, but like the ring rats and the dope men, they know where the rest is going to be. They're going to be there standing there to get their money and to get laid,
Yep. Okay, well, this brings us into a very special segment. Today, we're doing the name game with Jamie Dundee. We'll be right back after this.
Now it's time to play.
name game, huh?
Yeah, all right. We are back with the name game and Jamie Dundee. And today, so basically this name game, Jamie, it's just like a first thought association kind of thing. We say a name and you just say the first thought that comes to mind. Maybe a quick little story or nothing, just something, you know what I mean? So
okay.
I'm going to let Quinton take this one. So go ahead, Q.
All right. Well, we just mentioned it. The Admiral Bimbo. You got to have some crazy stories about that place.
The first place I was ever laid in as a wrestler, actually I was just a wrestler's kid then, selling my dad's gimmicks, man. That was the first place I ever got laid. My daddy told this girl, give old Dundee some ass. And so little Dundee got some ass. But listen, it's hard to get laid in a room when your dad's laying in the other bed. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, man.
Yeah, it is. But after so long, the instinct takes over and hell with it.
Was he like, come on, boy, do it right. Get in there, boy.
He's like, quiet down, boy, I'll put you in the sleeper. No, I don't know. I don't think he was getting laid either, but I know he was over in the bed. But I'm sure by that time, Bill Dundee had seen so many people get laid and been laid so many times, he probably just went to sleep.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, I said, damn, that girl's cute. He's like, yeah, come here, so-and-so, give him some.
Oh man. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this next one here. So this next one I personally think is one of the greatest promo guys in all of Memphis, and not named Jamie Dundee. Okay.
Well then he got to be awful damn good.
The Dream Machine.
Oh yeah, Troy Graham. I loved him when I was 8 years old. My daddy brought him home to the house, man. And he was a jive talking old Memphis boy. Let me tell you something, Gerald Lawler. He told Brian Christopher one time. He come back to the dressing room. He said, "You ain't gonna go down." He said, "Brian Lawler, you ain't." He said, "Gerald Lawler went down when I hit him with this right hand. You ain't gonna go down." He said, "He won't go down." Brian, when every time Dream hit him, Brian would just rock, and he'd rock, and he'd come back and just, "You ain't gonna go down, you son of a bitch. You ain't gonna go down. You ought to go down." But old Troy Graham, he got blackballed from wrestling because he broke his ankle or his leg, and somebody told him to sue Jerry Jarrett, and that was the worst thing he could have ever tried to do. That blackballed him from the wrestling, but he was a talking, bawling, squalling, old time Jubilee Lawler. Yeah. He'd say that he was he was truly from Orange Mound, which is a rough ass ghetto in Memphis, bro.
Wow.
And matter of fact, I think you heard Whoopi talk about we pulled up in there in that old beat up car of mine and shit in there. It's in his book. And we pulled up in the Orange Mound, and I mean, the police department has their own police department in this project. That's how rough it was. And two dumb old white boys pulling up in there in their outfits, and we stepped out. And then they like, "Hey, oh, hell no." "Oh, we say this." So we went live on the radio station, FM 100, live out of Orange Mound Project. It was crazy, man. But that's where Troy Graham grew up, and he was a white boy, and it was rough on him. But he talked, man. He could do the talking. You ain't wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Brickhouse Brown.
Man, first brother taught me how to smoke crack. God rest his soul. God rest his soul. He's the first person to ever smoke crack with me. I don't know if I thank him, hate him, or love him, but I loved Brickhouse my whole life. Brickhouse Brown was a very intelligent man, and I don't know if y'all know the story on how Brickhouse got into wrestling, but he knew the word heel, babyface, territory, and kayfabe, and he wrote a letter because he was really a well-educated man, and he wrote a letter to an office out in Portland, I think it was. He went his first matches against Bobby Jaggers, and he's got Bobby Jaggers in a headlock, and the headlock is so tight that he's like squeezing Bobby Jaggers' head off. Bobby said, "Loosen up, grab a chopper wrist lock." Brickhouse said, "You can't get out of my headlock." And that's what he told Bobby Jaggers. Said, "Boy, he said, bro, are you smart?" He said, "You're fucking right, I'm smart. I got 4 years of college, mother." He's got him in that headlock, and he will not let go, bro. And they convinced him and talked him into doing the job. And Brickhouse said when he got back, he felt so proud. He got back there and he's unlacing his boots. And the guy, I think his name was Don Kernodle, I think he said, and he paid him. And he said, "Boy, you smart?" No, he said, "You have been trained?" Brickhouse said, "Hell no." I said, "Boy, that was good, wasn't it?" They said, "Hell no, that shit was the worst shit." And they made him go through the wrestling school and shit, and then that's how he became a wrestler. But his first match, brother, he was not smart at all, man. He said Bobby couldn't get out of that headlock, so he knew he had that one won,
Yeah, book smart, not wrestling smart, right?
That's right. He said, "Are you smart?" Brother said, "Hell yeah, I got 4 years of college, brother."
He told me that story one night in Lebanon, and I died, man, when he told me that.
That's a 100% true story, man. He said he was so excited when he got paid, he just knew he had a job forever. And that motor said, what in the is wrong with you, man? You got to go through wrestling school. So then he finally, but what a body he had. And he never, ever worked out, bro. He must have smoked crack with steroids in it or something. Because that motherfucker never, ain't shitting. He never, ever went to the gym, and his body was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, like different sport, but like they say Bo Jackson never worked out. And he looked like
And Bo Jackson, but I don't know. Bo Jackson's body didn't look like Brickhouse's body, though, man. Bo Jackson looked like he didn't work out. That Brickhouse Brown, he was chiseled and shit, had abs and everything.
Yeah. He looked. I mean, it was amazing, actually. Yeah, that's amazing.
And he never, ever. I never saw him work out not one time, and I knew him for years and years and years.
Wow, man. Go ahead.
Bless, man.
Tell us about old Black Bart.
I tell you what I remembered about Black Bart is he was a real true badass Texan. You know what I mean? He was really a black hat wearing Texan. The one of the fondest memories I have of him is me and my dad are coming home from Memphis, and we passed Black Bart, and he's got a U-Haul trailer attached to the back of his truck. And Bill unrolled my passenger window, and he unrolled his window. Bill said, "Well, where are you going, Bart?" He said, "Them and their $40. I'm going to Texas. I can be hungry in Texas. These mother." And he rolled the window up and went on back to Texas. These Jareds and their $40 payoffs. He wasn't having it. That's my fond memory of Black Bart, man. But I remember one time I said, Marion Morrison, and Marion Morrison was John Wayne's real name,
Yeah.
And I said, and Black Bart was like napping or resting, and I just remember he raised that hat up. He said, "Boy, don't you say nothing about John Wayne again, or we won't have problems." He laid that hat back, went back to napping, and laid that hat back. I didn't say nothing else about John Wayne around Black Bart, though. I believed him.
Well, speaking of another Texan, what about a young Dustin Rhodes?
Oh, Jumbo. We call him Jumbo, not because of his arms. The guy, Dustin, when I was a kid growing up in Charlotte, North Carolina, my daddy moved to Charlotte, was booking for Crockett, and I was going to school there, and Dustin was there too, and he was going to school. Dustin was like a year grade ahead of me, a year old, but Dustin was always a giant, you know what I mean? He never was no little bitty dude.
Yeah.
And listen, my mama would say, "Jamie smoking dope again with them kids at school," so Dustin would come and beat up all my friends, and I'd say, "Quit beating my friends up, man." And no, because they didn't want to be my friend no more, because Dustin would come beat them up. Dustin would come beat them up because they give me weed and shit. My mama would say, "Yeah, Jamie smoking that dope again." But that Charlotte, North Carolina, that place was off the chain, man. I was 13 years old. I done been arrested for grand theft auto and possession of cocaine, and we hadn't been there 6 weeks, man. That place was crazy. Yeah, my mama said and my daddy bought Dusty Rhodes' house. We were supposed to go from Charlotte to Orlando, Florida, Tampa, Florida, to Dusty's house. My dad had already bought it. And my mama said, "Bill Dundee, you've lost your mind. If you think I'm taking my coke-addicted 13-year-old son to Tampa, Florida, you are a complete idiot. I'm going back to Nashville." And so I remember going to sleep in the car, and I woke up, and we was in Nashville, and I told my mama, "What are we doing here? We going to visit?" My mama had a couple friends, Linda and Jim. I said, "We going to visit Linda and Jim?" She said, "Hell no, we ain't going to Tampa, Florida." Boy, I was a mad mother. "What you mean we ain't going to Tampa, Florida?" But yeah, we didn't go to Tampa, Florida. My daddy sold that house and moved back to Nashville.
No Florida, man. Oh, man.
No, they didn't take my drug-addicted, car-stealing ass to Florida at 13. I wonder why. That's all normal shit in the world I grew up in. Everybody was doing it at 13. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Couldn't be wrong.
Right.
Oh, wait. Hey, tell us about old primetime Brian Lee.
Brian Lee, love him to death, man. Old Brian, that motherfucker went plumb crazy at the end. He's better now, but that motherfucker pulled up my house one time in a U-Haul, and he's got shotguns, 4 of them. And he says, "Jamie, I need you to help me. I need you to drive the truck. We're going to go in there. My old lady's dating a cop. We're going to go up there, and I'm going to get my dogs out of the house." And I said, "You have lost your ever-loving mind, Brian Lee. If you think I'll be able to drive into an ambush to a cop's house to get your dogs with a U-Haul and 4 shotguns, you have lost your ever-loving mind." I said, "I wouldn't even do that for my dogs. I damn sure ain't doing it for yours." He's like, "Yeah, man, but that's somebody went crazy at the end, but he's better now. I see him and talked to him a bunch of times lately. He's a lot better now, but man, he was off his chain. He was thinking the world was out to get him, and I mean, he was going to have a hell of a run. Him and Undertaker were good friends. That's why he became the second Undertaker and all that. But they just couldn't keep him on a leash, man. He wouldn't calm down.
Yeah.
So they're there for Brian after the second Undertaker. Because, he looked just like Mark in that gimmick,
Oh, yeah, it definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he was going to have a hell of a lower. They were going to do a big thing out of that, man, but he just couldn't keep it right, man. So bless his heart. Like the rest of us, I guess, personal life gets in the way and you just get all up.
Yeah. Yeah.
How about Robert Fuller?
The Tennessee Stud. I tell you what, I learned a lot of stuff. That's, my first managing gig after I left Knoxville was, in Memphis. It was against Robert Fuller in the Stud stable.
Yeah.
And I remember the way I was only 17, I guess, 17. And the way they convinced me to let Sylvia hit me with that stick. Because, if she hits you with that kendo stick, she'd wear you the out, bro. I ain't shit. But this is what my daddy said, boy. Said, she ain't got no underwear on. You can look up her dress while she's whooping your ass. I said, well, by God, I'm in. I said, oh, yeah. Every time if you watch any videos, when she's wearing me out with that stick, I'm looking up that dress. I'm getting my free shot, man.
Hit me again.
Yeah, hell yeah. Keep on hitting me. No, come back. Hit me some more.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
but
funny.
See, all of that's normal. That's all normal shit in the world I grew up in. I don't know what people think it's. My wife ain't heard none of these stories. My wife hears these stories, she'll definitely be like, Jamie, that is not normal. Yes, it is.
Well, we talked about Robert. How about cousin Jimmy Golden?
Well, same. Robert and Jimmy were the heel tag team working against my dad and Jeff, and then they turned it into like a 6-man, 8-man. They put Bill Hickerson with them, and then they put Brickhouse with them. And that was another great angle they did when Robert Fuller going to buy everybody shit gifts, and he buys Brickhouse like a box of chicken, and he buys him a watermelon. He gets everybody else rolling. Then he buys him a shower cap. Which Brickhouse baby face, and he works with my dad and Jeff. And my dad and Jeff and Brickhouse against Bill Hickerson and Robert Fuller and Jimmy Golden. But, them guys, they're from the Welch family, and the Welch family is the ones that, you know what I'm saying, made all that, it goes all the way back before the Jarretts, the Welches and shit. So they're wrestling royalty, you know what I mean, in a sense. Yep.
Yeah.
So therefore, getting to do your first angle and learn from them people that's wonderful. You know what I mean? Who else can teach you better than wrestling royalty?
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Tell us about old Spellbinder Del Rios.
Love me some chicken and bread every time we go somewhere. Now, listen, this guy, to have a body like Spellbinder's, brother, it ain't cheap. I don't give a shit how many roids you do. That is not cheap to look like the Spellbinder, bro. That's 6'5" and 285, ripped as shit. I mean, he just won Mr. Olympia like 4 or 5 years ago at 55 years old or some shit, man. The dude's unbelievable. He had never seen like biscuits and gravy, no shit like that in his life, man. You know what I mean? He was always eating steamed vegetables. Every 2 hours we would have to stop. He said, listen, when Spellbinder came to our company, the WWF had put him on a check. They sent him down here to learn to wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had never, he never seen no shit like me and Mike Anthony and 2 midgets. But listen, it was Spellbinder, Mike Anthony, Wolfie, me, and 2 midgets in an '88 hatchback Camaro, driving all over this planet, bro. Yes, sir. We would put Mike would drive, Spellbinder be in the front. I'd sit behind Spellbinder and put my feet between the seat, and, on the one side of the seat, and then up through the middle on the armrest. And Wolfie would put his right leg on the armrest, his other one on the armrest on the door of the driver's side. And then we had a midget in between us, and then my midget Danny would sit on Spellbinder's lap, and we drove 100,000 miles a year like that, bro. Everywhere we went at 110 miles an hour with Spellbinder's band. And listen, we'd have to leave. Usually, you got to leave Memphis about 1 o'clock to get to Louisville by 7. We'd have to leave at like 10 o'clock in the morning because Spellbinder had to eat every 2 hours. That bodybuilding shit, So every 2 hours he would stop and get, let me get 4 chicken sandwiches, no bread, and let me get steamed vegetables and some rice. He could only eat Captain D's because everything else was too much fat and shit. I mean, the dude is a phenomenal body man as far as had like how many carbs to put in your body and all that shit, And he just couldn't believe it when he watched me and Wolfie smoke and the midget smoke pot and eating biscuits and gravy and shit. He would say, man, my arteries are plugging up, you little hillbilly motherfucker.
Oh gosh.
And he was really trained to do magic by the same guy that trained David Copperfield.
Wow.
So, you know, we would all get high and shit and make him do magic tricks in the hotel room and shit. Come on, Dale. He turned handkerchiefs into sticks and shit like that. And, oh, my God, badass. And we spoke pot. I'd say, can you make the midget disappear? He'd say, yeah, but if I do, we're never going to get him back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Tell us about Brian Christopher.
Oh, Brian Christopher. God love him. Bless his heart, man. Brian just lost it in the end, man, for real. Yeah. But I love Brian. Brian was my family. Brian was me. Our dads were the same people. They were just different names. They were both arrogant pricks, man, you know. Brian just, I don't know. Brian never did drugs or nothing, man, at the beginning there. And he saved his money and he bought him a big mansion. And I don't know where Brian went wrong, man. I love him. I miss him. I think of him all the time, man. You know, he comes to, one time, that's why they say be careful what you wish for. One time, we're going to do a benefit show for Chris Champion in Lewisburg, Tennessee, or down there for Mikey Dunn, I think, somewhere down there. And when I walk in the building, Brian's there. And I'm like, Brian, hey. He's like, what up, man? I'm like, listen, bro, what you doing, man? You want to come to my house? He goes, yeah, for 30 days. I go, what? He goes, for 30 days. I go, for 30 days? What you can't come to my house for 30 days. He's like, no, my old lady's got an EPO, man. I can't go home. I'm like, well, then come on, mother. So we drove back to Kentucky. The first day he was at my house, he caught my house on fire. He threw an empty ashtray in the trash can. It caught on fire. He stepped on my daughter's toenail. She had to go to the hospital and get her toenail removed. And what else did he do? He did one other thing like that. And I said, Brian, go out to the camper, mother. So I got a bunch of campers in my backyard, right? They're all wrestling up and spray painted and shit. And so I said, Brian, you go out to the camper, man. So at that time I was working with a buddy of mine. So I went to work that day and I come home and Brian's inside my camper. He has hung up about, 300 pictures of himself. He's got them. And they're hanging around all the way around my camper. They're covering the whole wall and shit. And I said, I come in and he was like, you like it? And I'm like, yeah, if it was your camper. But no, I don't like it, mother. Take them pictures down, mother. And so it's funny, though, but he left about 5 of them. And then after that ordeal in jail or whatever happened and he passed on, I went out there, man, and I was just looking at the pictures on the wall. And he had wrote on top of the ceiling, to my brother Jamie, I love you. Thank you for always taking me in. And oh, man, that hit me so hard. But I mean, I didn't even know he'd written that on the ceiling. But yeah, Brian was my boy, man. Brian, I don't know what happened to Brian in the end there, man. He went plumb crazy, I think.
Yeah.
But happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us.
Definitely so. Well, we've got one more name for the name game with Jamie Dundee and Quinton.
Oh,
you take that one.
This guy, he was my favorite TV guy, Freezer Thompson.
Freezer Thompson, what a kind-hearted guy, man. Freezer Thompson was just a humble, kind guy, man. And in a sense, he was a big star in Memphis, man. He was on TV every Saturday. By God, he didn't win many matches, but I think he won maybe 1 or 2. But by God, he was there every week, and he had heart. And he was a big old teddy bear, big, cuddly, nice guy, man. Kind of like Kamala. Same with Kamala. He was a big old humble, nice kind of guy. You know, he never figured that by the looks of them guys that they would be kind, humble, sweet guys. You know, they're big old teddy bears. But I love Freezer Thompson. I used to see him when I was first starting to wrestle, 17, 18, 19. I could get into a bar called Muggs. Downtown Bruno was the doorman, and Buddy Wayne was like the general manager of it or something. So they let us in there and drink for free and shit, you know. But I was like 19, you had to be 21, so I could go in there and drink. And I remember seeing Freezer in there all the time. And he was just a humble, nice guy, man. Big old, just a really good person, though, for real.
That's cool.
Tell us about these wrestling figures I heard coming out. PG-13.
Action figure.
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, we don't know yet. The world's got to vote.
Yes.
They got to vote whether they want.
Vote USWA, too.
Yeah, USWA one or but everybody I've read on there is already USWA. They're gonna have to go with the one with the big hat and the hubcaps and shit, you know.
Yes,
yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure it's option 2.
Yeah, if that's really because at first the guy told me they were making both.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay, then that means you got to pay me twice.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's what told him off for. But I mean, if you're making both, you're gonna pay me for both, you know. So
definitely.
I guess it's now down to pick one. So the world's got to pick. But I mean, you got to go with the big hats and the shorts and the hubcaps. You got to.
Yeah, definitely. The USWA option 2. Y'all vote for that one for sure. Seriously.
That's right. And the KWK brand and go there and vote, man. But the PG-13 ones definitely is the ones that they got to make, man, because that's the other ones are they're just two white rappers with, black jackets on and shit. Hell, that could be anybody.
Right.
That when you look at them, and they come out August. So you got to vote now so we can get them in August. And I get paid. I need the money.
And if you want to put them alongside your Nation of Domination, go ahead. You ain't gotta. They just don't. They're not gonna have the same look.
Yeah, but see that the WWF never made them rappers, and I don't understand why. They were a big part of the Nation. But anyway, I don't know why but hell with them. But now they got the smartest guy going is the guy that makes all the heads of everybody and sells them to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got that 3D printer. He's got everybody in the world on there, man. I've been on there looking shit. I want to buy it myself. I'm like, terrible. I got to buy it myself.
Yeah, it is, man. Oh, man. That's funny.
All right. So you talked to her about being the worst guest on Springer. Did they know y'all were wrestlers? And did y'all work them?
Well, to answer that question, I really don't know how to answer that question because when they hired, like when they called me the first time, they needed midgets. Okay, that's why they called me. The Iron Sheik gave them my phone number, and they needed 100 midgets to do a show.
I know who has them.
Yeah, he's like, Jimmy baby's got the midgets. And give me hell yeah! So they called my house, right? And I'm like, as soon as the phone rang, I'm like, hello. And the woman's like, Jamie Dundee. I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, I'm from the Jerry Springer Show. And I'm just like, hold on a minute. I'm like, bitch, I will kill you. What the f*** you mean? She's like, no, your wife ain't called. I'm like, bitch, I will kill. What the f*** you mean? He's like, no. She's like, no. Iron Sheik gave us your phone number. And we need midgets. And I'm like, okay, all right then, girl, sorry. I didn't know if that show was a work or not. You know what I mean? Call me and tell me they from Jerry Springer. And I'm like, bitch, I will kill you. What are you talking about? And so she said, I need 30. She said, I need 100 midgets. And I go, 100 midgets? I don't even know if there's 100 midgets on the planet. It ain't like you see a midget every day. I don't care where you go. You'll go weeks and months without seeing a midget, for real. Years, actually, people's gone. Some people ain't never seen a midget out in the street or nothing, for real. And so I was like, man, I don't know if I can help you or not. So I got my midget and Farmer John, and we got a hold of the other the other three little midgets out of Bowling Green area there, the little Indian and his kid. And then they got a hold of a couple more. So it was 30 of us. So it was 30 of us total that took 30 midgets, and we went up there. And then after that, they would just call my house all the time, just randomly. And they would put on my check a finder's fee because, they would, anything they wanted to find, I could pick the phone up and find it, for real. They'd be like, I swear, they said we need a black one-legged transvestite midget to join the Klan. I'm like, I'll find him. Hold on, I'll call you back. So did I call back and I got him? They'd be like, good. So they fly me and my crew in every Monday morning. We fly in, we do the show and fly back and have a couple grand, and it was great. I loved it. But when they did, I guess after Jerry died, they got this page or whatever, and that's when they started running episodes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And they had the people vote, and it really takes like 6,000 or 7,000 comments before the first person says, "Wait a minute, that's Jamie Dundee. That shit ain't real. That dude's a wrestler. That shit ain't real." Mm. But it was one of those deals where when a guy called in, like with the Convict Show or Pippin and my wife's 14-year-old sister, somebody called in with that show, okay? Mm-hmm. But they don't want to deal with that guy. That dude's a crazy motherfucker, man. So instead of flying him and his crazy-ass family up, get Dundee and his crazy ass to come and play this part. But at least we know, what I mean, it'll get played right, but also we don't have to deal with the dude that's really pimping his wife's 14-year-old sister,
Right.
So all the shows I did were somebody else's show.
Right.
So that's why I always say, you can't say that that's fake because somebody called in is really doing that. I just played the part. So
right.
I guess you could call it a reenactment, maybe. That would be better to say they're
That's
a
good word for it.
maybe.
Good word for it.
Yeah. Yeah, so I would go up there and reenact. But I knew that show, that Convict Show, the one that they voted me as the worst guest ever, which really makes me the best guest ever because my show was a work, right?
Right.
So
right.
If the world hates you so bad that you're the worst, then really I'm the best because it wasn't real.
Yeah.
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 But yeah, I knew it was good. My 11-year-old daughter, she was 11 at the time that show aired. And you don't think about these kind of things, but on that show, I said, I'll ride that big fat guy all around the studio. And I'm just fucking playing a convict part, right? Anything on, I said, as long as you got 10 years or up, Jerry, you can bang anything on the yard with titties. I said, there's a lot of dudes on the yard with titties in prison. I said, so you can bang with it and it don't make you gay. So He said, what? I said, yeah, you can bang anything on the yard if you got a 10-year and up sentence. It don't make you gay. It's just survival. And I said, as long as you quit 24 hours before you get out of jail, you ain't gay. He said, did you quit 24? I said, no, sir. I quit 72 just to make sure. Well, I didn't realize that my kids would see that one day, right? And I figured my kids would all know that, it's daddy doing his job, entertaining,
Yeah.
But my 11-year-old daughter called me with this kind of crying like this. And I go, Jason Carroll, what's wrong? He said, you're gay. I go, what? She goes, you're gay. And I go, gay? I go, you got 7 brothers and sisters and 6 states. Daddy's a lot of things, but I don't think gay would be one of them. And she said, yes, it is. She said, I'm watching Jerry Springer, and you said you go sleep with that man. And I said, well, how am I going to get out of this? So I said, okay, Jason Terra, Dean Cain, he played Superman. Because she loved that show Smallville then, right? Mm-hmm. And she goes, yeah. I go, he can't fly. She goes, what? I go, Dean Cain can't fly. He's not really Superman. He can't fly. She said, I know that. I said, right. And Daddy's not a convict doing prison sentence for men. I'm telling you. So therefore, Daddy's just playing a part. And then she understood, oh, okay, Daddy. So I knew that show was a believable show. When my 11-year-old called me, tore up over it like that. But I didn't know it was so believable that the world would vote one day. I just think that's priceless.
Yeah.
I just think that's huge, man. Yeah, my 16-year-old daughter now, she come running through the house. She said, Daddy, the same one that told me I was on Celebrity Mugshots. She's like, Daddy, you're blowing up on TikTok. And I go, well, what does that mean? She goes, that means you're on TikTok. You got 7 million views. She said, Jerry Springer, he told him he'd steal his wallet. He said, you have to have a forklift to pick it up or some shit like that. No, he said, you hurt your back. And I said, yeah. So that's all they showed of that clipping was that little clipping on TikTok. And that thing got like 8 million views. I'm like, well, how do we get paid for this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're supposed to get paid when there's so many views, but the person that'll get paid is the person that put the video out, not the person in it.
Right.
So I'm like,
Jamie,
well,
you can get paid, but from doing some videos on TikTok, I guarantee that.
Easily.
Well, yeah, but but here's the thing. It's like anything. I already got paid to perform that part, so they got the right to do anything with the footage they want.
Right.
You know?
Oh, I know. I'm just saying you can do fresh videos and get paid.
Yeah.
Really? Well, by God, when we get off air, you call me back and you tell me how. We'll get right on that because I'm a video filming for money.
Okay.
Hey, listen. I mean, we can even go as far as them ones that my old lady's going to lead me over, but hell, sometimes you got to do what you got to do to make money. And videos is good videos.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, but I got a lot of things on film. Yeah.
Jamie Dundee's on OnlyFans.
Yeah, on OnlyFans. But as long as I only got a couple people watching, we're good.
Oh, man. Well, Jamie, this has been awesome, man. I really appreciate you coming on. Obviously, you were just in Chillicothe with Wolfie and PG-13 got back together. Now, I want to say one thing. You and Marty Jannetty were in the same room, and the world did not explode. That's amazing.
No, that's what they said. Somebody said to that promoter there, said, I don't know how you did it, but you got Marty Jannetty and Jamie Dundee both to show up at the same time. You're doing big shit, son. You're doing big shit. But listen, Marty shrunk.
Really?
That picture of me and Wolfie and Marty. Marty is shorter than me. And I said, because my whole life, Marty was at least 6 foot tall. I know he was.
Yeah.
And he's like 5'6" now. And I'm like, Marty, are you shrinking? And he's like, yeah, Jamie, I really am shrinking, man. I said, no, I'm dead serious. This motherfucker's shrinking. And like one leg is shorter than the other right now and everything.
Yeah, he had like foot and ankle problems, hadn't he? He's had like foot and ankle problems.
But I promise, if you look at that picture of me, him and Wolfie, man, he is shorter than me, and he's never been shorter than me. My whole life. I ain't grown since I was 17 years old or so. And Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels were about the same height, man. Yeah. And Marty's like 5'7" now or something. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. And then, of course, you were just recently a special referee at USWO in Murfreesboro for our buddy Krull and Shane Morton. I'm sure you had a good time with that.
Yeah, it was really fun. Got to see my boy Donnie Goodman. He lost his leg, but as soon as I seen him, I put his leg in a arm bar because that's what I did to Gypsy Joe. Just because y'all got them little nubs don't mean I ain't going to get on you.
I was sitting right there, everybody, and he actually did that because I was sitting right across from
Yes, right. As soon as Donnie rolled in the room, I saw that leg off and went down. Goddamn arm bar, baby. Got him. Got that leg. He ain't kicking out. These little nubs, y'all get them nubs. But I'm trying to get Donnie to do nub porn, but he won't do it.
We'll keep working on it,
we
brother.
don't like it don't mean the world don't like it. There's some weird shit out there. Nub porn is a big thing, man.
You never know till you try too, right? So.
That's what they say. I said, Donnie, we gotta nub the hell out of them women. Come on, nubber. It's called nubber rub. But yes, sir, new medicine.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, thank you so much, Jamie, as always, for coming on, brother. We'll do this again sometime down the road. But man, this meant a lot, brother. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem, brother. You be safe. And Quinton, I'm glad to talk to you. Sheik, I'm glad to talk to you. When y'all ain't playing with your dick, y'all can join in with us next time. We'll catch y'all in on the rebound. See you, boys.
Brother. It's good seeing you, buddy.
Thanks, man. All right, that was the one and only Jamie Dundee, a.k.a. JC Ice. We'll be right back to wrap things up after these messages on Gimme Back My Pro Wrestling.
CHW is continuing the legacy of historic professional wrestling in Tennessee with monthly events at the Armory in Ashland City. CHW owner Mike Green has made it his mission to present the best pro wrestling shows in the Nashville area, and he has been delivering the goods. CHW Wrestling combines all the elements that Tennessee wrestling fans have come to expect. Action, suspense, athleticism, reality, stories, surprises, and excitement, all delivered by the finest professional wrestlers this state has to offer. Follow CHW Pro Wrestling on Facebook for the latest news, announcements, and show dates. And subscribe to Championship Productions on YouTube to see past events like the Ashland City Rumble and the Valentine's Massacre. Fun for the whole family with delicious and affordable concessions on site. Witness the action and excitement of CHW in Ashland City at the Armory. Family Wars, Love and Hate, Championship Gold. A CHW event is everything you're looking for in a night of live entertainment.
I am still laughing about these stories, man. First off, we're back, y'all. Thank you, Jamie, for the always entertaining episodes that you bring the podcast that I've been blessed enough to work on. Really appreciate it, Jamie. Man, the dude is a comedian and easily could be doing something. He needs to get on Kill Tony or something. Somebody hook him up with Tony Hinchcliffe. That would be an incredible combination of Jamie Dundee on Kill Tony. How can we make that happen? Anyway, somebody figure that out and get back to Jamie on that, because he needs to make that happen. One thing, of course, we've been talking, thank you, to our buddy Pastor Rick Reynolds and his ministry, Gideon's Warriors. If you would like to bring them to your church or your event of any kind, you can email them at icw2009@hotmail.com. Once again, that's Pastor Rick Reynolds, and book them for your church today. They've got some great stories about their time in wrestling and even better testimonies. Y'all check them out. Gideon's Warriors, icw2009@hotmail.com. To continue on, again, continue praying for our buddy Ben Jordan. He's made some strides. He's doing better. He's getting around a little better on a cane. Unfortunately, still having lingering issues. Had some issues with some chemo. He posted about that on his Facebook update page, so y'all go check that out. I highly recommend that you follow that so you can keep informed on the latest on our buddy Ben Jordan. Love you, Ben. Keep up the positivity, man. We all need it. Another prayer request we've got is our buddy Q, Quinton's wife, Dana. She's unfortunately down in her back and is having a real rough time of it. So please do us a favor and keep Quinton and her in your prayers. I know they appreciate them, and we do too. One more thing, guys. Don't really want to get too deep into this, but if you could, please also remember my family in your prayers as well. Thank you for that. All right, y'all. Next episode, I can't spill it here, but if you're very interested, if you're really interested, you can find out all the news that is the news on @GMBMPW on Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube. Thank you all so much for the ones that follow, like, share, subscribe, all that support, all that means so much to us. Most importantly, we appreciate you, the ones who listen. And in the case of Austin Idol's podcast, the ones who watch. We greatly appreciate it, but we need more of you. So, hey, give us a like, give us a share, continue that support, continue the listening. It means so much to us. But tell somebody about it. I know we do some stuff over here that maybe somebody else would like, and let them know about it. We really appreciate it. Also, it means a lot to us for you to rate and review us. So if you're on Apple or Spotify, you're able to hit us with a 5-star rating, and that would mean a lot to us too. So thank you all so much once again for listening to the one and only Jamie Dundee, and for the Plastic Sheik, Quinton Quarisma, and myself. This has been Give Me Back, My Pro Wrestling, and we'll see y'all next time.
Don't forget.
Right now, it's Cronus versus Dundee.
Now let me get into my comfortable mode and let me tell you how I feel about you, okay? You know, John Cronus, you used to be one half of one of the greatest tag teams to ever wrestle. And I myself used to be one half of the other greatest tag team that ever wrestled. And you see, there's only two things that make me and you different. And the first one is that my partner I got rid of, and your partner got rid of your dumb ass. And the reason he got rid of your dumb ass, Cronus, I'm going to tell you, is because you're a That's why. You know, when your mom and daddy got divorced, were they still brother and sister, Cronus, huh? See, the reason your partner dumped your sorry ass is because you're a loony bird. Yeah.
Well, we never claimed that John Cronus wasn't special, but he certainly is athletically gifted, isn't he? Just ask Jamie Dundee.
With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
This has been a James Rock Street production.